Today's conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media, and I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second dish to me, just to be this out honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? A few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out. I am not the way, no way. I have seen the way. Yeah. Seek, speak, repeat, there's no way.
Yo, welcome. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are having a great night. I hope you guys are having a great life, man. Welcome back to the 509 Divine Podcast. It's been a rough few months for me. I've been in 2 car accidents. So I just want to say, first and foremost, that I do this podcast out of my own pocket. And if you guys could, donate, please. It helps me in all my livelihood, my car, my food, my dogs. If you guys could, over at Cash App, 509 Divine Pines, PayPal, 509 Divine Pines, and buy me a coffee at 509 Divine Pines. Thank you guys for staying tuned. This episode is about to be a doozy. If you guys love space talk, you know, I got my Rick and Morty UFO spaceship on. Man, yeah. There's a lot going on with this because I tried ignoring it for a long time. I was like, whatever. It's just another, story. But no, this is gaining more attention. And if I'm putting pieces together, I think that there's more to it than what we are seeing, as Transformers, the TV show says, there's more than meets the eye. Right. Some of that, right? Typically, that's how life is. But guys, if you guys could, go check out my sponsors, go check out my affiliates, and check out all the companies that I'm working with and promote that are going to help you in your journey and your life. Right here, C60 was kind enough to send me a youth renewal cream. So if you guys have noticed, my skin and my face look a whole lot healthier over the last year, even though I'm a hippie, right? I'm a stoner. My skin is good. C60 got me. It has bits of copper, some organic materials, organic botanicals, and C60 itself. So a very rejuvenating cream, and it gets your skin softer than a baby's bottom. I'm not even kidding. It gets your skin softer than cotton. It gets your skin softer than Jello. Like good Jello. It's gelatin. That's how her skin is a little bit, right? No, literally, my skin feels great. And if you guys want, go over to shopc60.com and go check out this amazing product. There's more. There's oil for your dogs. You can give this oil to your kids. You can give this oil to your granny. Use it for its topicals. You use it in your drinks, coffee, if you want that double extra kick. So this is a very rejuvenating oil, a carbon replenisher. Go over, check them out. A Nobel Prize winner. And if you guys could, go over to boomerboost.com for the best vitamins that I love. That's personally me. Literally, the supplements are A1. Everything has been amazing. And I gotta say that out of all the supplements I've tried over the last 10 years, these guys, they got some of the most powerful stuff. No lie. Go over to boomerboost.com. Use coupon code Joe30. And let's get into this, man. Oh, man. So, what we're doing tonight, guys, this is 3iAtlas. This is 3i mysterious, right? Mysterious. Like, it kind of gets in our head, like, what is this? I mean, I think this is like a 3-body problem, a real 3-body problem. If you guys know about the show, this is as close to it as we can get. Um, I love the 3-body problem because it seems that it's based in a sense of history, and we know history loves to repeat itself. I'm wondering, with this 3iAtlas, are we about to experience a new Roswell? It's been 80 years since supposedly a UFO started crashing. Oh, I'm sorry for the background noise. It's been about 80 years since a UFO crashed at New Mexico Roswell. And well, we had a boom in technology, right? We had a boom in technology. We had all sorts of advancements all around the world, and I think that we're about to see. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I feel like we're about to hit the next advancement of technology, and if we are, might that also come with the next wave of UFOs, as Roswell first brought it? Let's get into this, guys. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody around that this is the best podcast in Washington State. Stay tuned. And yeah, let's get it. All right, let me go ahead and switch this over. I have not used this program in a minute, so pardon me. There we go. Now, we're running through Twitter today. Twitter has mostly everything uncensored. So, first and foremost, we're going to get into this clip by Christina Gomez.
Observations from Gemini Observatory North are raising serious questions about what we are actually looking at. The data suggests there might be multiple objects traveling with this comet, not just one, and we have the names of them. These include the C/2025 A6 Lemon, the C/2025 R2 Swan, the C/2025 K1 Atlas, and of course the interstellar object, the 3iAtlas. And then on top of that, amateur astronomers that are not just Avi Loeb are backing this up with their own analysis. Let us break down what we know, what we're seeing, and why this matters. As always, I'm here to report the information without bias, and you can decide what to believe. You can find the sources in my detailed articles at ufonews.co, along with in the description box below. Hey, ufologists, I'm Christina Gomez, and welcome to this episode of UFO News Updates. The Gemini Observatory North captured images of 3iAtlas that appear to show several objects around the comet. According to the latest images analyzed by Skywatcher Tobo Zeal on X, the objects around 3iAtlas are clearly visible in the images, and Turbo Zeal's analysis shows distinct objects of light in proximity to the main body, supporting what other observers have been reporting. When amateur astronomer Stefan Burns posted his time-lapse animation online earlier this month, other astronomers immediately began their own analysis. A German user called Night Monkey claimed to see multiple objects, not just one comet. Multiple fast-moving points of light appear in the images. Another analysis by the name of Alexander Flum pointed out something specific. At the 3-second mark of Burns' animation, a brief green flash appears. This is not a camera artifact. This is a diffuse glow, located but distinct. And here's where this gets really strange. Spectroscopic analysis from the Very Large Telescope in Chile showed that 3iAtlas is carbon chain depleted. It contains virtually no dicarbon. Dicarbon is the molecule that typically causes comets to glow green when energized by solar ultraviolet radiation. Without dicarbon, 3iAtlas should not be glowing green. Yet, ground-based photographs from early September clearly show a green hue developing around the object. Now, this ties into something Avi Loeb mentioned recently. Based on his calculations of the 3iAtlas's trajectory and behavior, Loeb suggested that the object might be hollow or made out of very light material that we don't know about here on Earth. Think about what that means. If 3iAtlas is indeed hollow, or composed of material far less dense than typical comets, traveling at over 100,000 miles per hour through space should have torn it apart by now. Comets are fragile objects. They break apart from thermal stress, gravitational forces, or rotational stress. A hollow or extremely light object would be even more vulnerable. Yet, 3iAtlas is still intact. It survived a direct hit from a coronal mass ejection in early October, and it has been experiencing significant outgassing as it approaches the sun. All of these events should stress the structure of the object, but instead, the object remains intact. And now people are seeing multiple smaller objects around it. This raises a critical question. Are these broken pieces that have recently separated from the main body, or are they probes or companion objects that are traveling together from another star system? If these are fragments, we would expect to see a debris trail. We would expect the main body to show signs of deterioration. If they're not fragments, then what are they? If 3iAtlas is hollow, that could explain the water release pattern. A study published in the astrophysical journal Letters reveals that the comet is releasing water vapor at an extraordinary rate, roughly 88 pounds per second. The observation comes from NASA's Neil Gehrels Swift Space Telescope when the comet was approximately 3 astronomical units from the sun. That is 3 times the distance between the Earth and the sun. Now, most comets do not begin releasing significant water until much later. By this time, spacecraft positioned near Mars should capture detailed images that Earth-based telescopes cannot provide while the comet is behind the sun from our perspective.
So you see that there's a possibility of multiple objects. Now, we're about to go and get into the possibility of what this really may be. So I mentioned that this is a 3-body problem. And if you guys don't know about the show of a 3-body problem, so it is a book written maybe a decade or 2 ago. And it explains how, well, this lady witnessed her father get abused by the hands of the Chinese government. And so she grows up in, I believe he's a scientist, and she grows up to be a scientist too. And so she grows with, deeper thoughts because what she witnessed as a kid. And I'm going to pause this video while we explain it. So, it goes on. She then starts working on a secret project for the government, and well, with that project, the let's just say the technological elite, the people who are working on these projects and such, they start getting in contact with supposed extraterrestrial. I believe they make a VR, virtual reality. And well, in the virtual reality world, they meet the entities. They don't know though. They think it's just AI, and entities say we're gonna come and kill you and stuff. So like the way that these people got the technology from the entities is that these people at NASA, whatever, these places, the government, they sent out signals to through the radio, through the satellites, and they got a transmission back, and it was these entities were telling them, we're gonna come. It's pretty horrible when you realize that like the government and technological elites are, in real life, they can definitely make bad decisions on behalf of the whole planet. So these entities eventually come, and humanity is like completely frightened, like they don't know like what just happened. So here's a 3-minute video.
We used all our resources to make 4 sophons, 2 pairs of 2. Each pair is entangled, connected on the quantum level. 2 remain with us. The other 2 we've sent to you. Everything they see and hear, we see and hear at the same time.
Hey!
Even when they are light
Whoa, was
years
that you?
apart.
Oh, making a noise. Yeah.
A proton has virtually no mass. Accelerating them to nearly light speed is easy. Even you can do that. They entered your solar system months ago. We sent them to your planet. To the places where your best minds explore reality at its most fundamental level. And we will destroy the science that could defeat us.
I don't quite understand. Are you trying to tell us that they're real?
We call them the Santi. The first person to make contact with them was from China. And
Side note, the Santi is based on something real. So at some of these laboratories around the world, I've been covering this and I've been studying this for a while. At some of these laboratories, they have bases in rooms or technologies dedicated to the entity that they are supposedly talking to. And supposedly some of these places hold the entity. And it's really weird because Santi is one of them that I have actually seen. And, you know, these shows are trying to tell us a little bit more than just random BS.
Santi Ren means
Three-body
three-body people in Chinese.
And these Santi, they're on their way here.
Coming from an unstable three-body star system. 4 light years away, getting closer every moment. They created this technology to share their story with us.
And they look like that? Like us?
We took a few liberties. For your benefit.
So you're trying to tell us that this game was designed by aliens?
Are you keen on video games, Clarence? I used to play when I was a kid. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Jet Set Willie on ZX Spectrum, Strip Poker on Commodore 60.
How would you say this game stacks up?
Well, listening to Chung and Rooney going about it sounds like a load of bloody homework. Measurements, equations, charts, observations. All about the way the suns move around a fictional planet.
Sons, plural.
Yeah. Oh, there's also a little kid they've got to try and save. Or Chong's trying to save and failing over and over. That's the only bit that sounds like a proper game to me.
What's engineering got to say about this?
No, look, getting it to work, but they did identify some very interesting components. It's got a retinal scanner, an oxygen meter, and a brainwave sensor. It's collecting a heap of biometric data.
So while you're playing the game, someone at the other end is playing you.
Your Holiness, I have made dozens of measurements of the sun's apparent size and luminosity. These do not correlate. Second, I have noticed the sun's position relative to this planet receding on a short time scale. Third, I have observed more than one celestial body too bright to be a planet moving relative to the fixed background of the stars. The only explanation for these observations is that this planet is part of a 3-body star system.
Fucking hell. That's the answer.
If our planet revolves around one of the suns in a stable orbit, that's a stable era. However, if one of the other suns snatches our planet away, we wander through the gravitational fields of all 3 suns. That's a chaotic era.
Yeah, that show is definitely worth the watch. I loved it. Now, here's the book by Cixin Liu, Liu Cixin, and it was translated by Ken Liu. And so there's a pyramid here, there's a Benji field. Very interesting. People say it's a grade A, AAA grade book, and I'm actually going to buy it. The show was phenomenal. They actually made 2 shows, if I'm correct. So they made one in America, and they made one in Japan or China or something. And you can watch both of them on Netflix, which is super cool. Now, now we're about to go ahead and get into the possibility of, like, is this really an alien? Is this, are we really thinking this is an alien? Like, are they trying to show us within these shows and tell us within these observational charts by these satellites that there are multiple objects, that there is more to this? We're gonna continue on exactly on this. I'm gonna brush through these videos in a certain order, not in the order that they're retweeted, but
for purposes either benign or malevolent. It's not the first
this is
time
Avi Loeb
astrophysicist
talking
Avi
about.
Loeb has suggested the object has alien origins. He came on this show to say so a while back, even saying the object could be on a mission to release, quote, mini probes that could invade Earth. And Avi Loeb joins us now. He's the head of the Galileo Project, director of Harvard University's Institute for Theory and Computation, also the best-selling author of the book Extraterrestrial. Okay, why are we just now figuring out this thing is as big as it is? Why were we wrong in the estimates of its size?
Thanks for having me. Well, we know that the object is losing mass because we see a cloud of gas around it that is a result of its warming up as it gets close to the sun, but it doesn't change its path. There is no push that is visible on the trajectory of the object, and that means that it's very massive, at least 1,000 times more massive than the previous one, which was a comet, Borisov, discovered in 2019. Not only that it's so massive, much more than the previous one, but there is also not enough rocky material in interstellar space to deliver such a giant rock into the inner solar system over the past decade.
Well, explain that, Avi. Like, so what do you mean there's not enough rock? What do you mean? Does this mean this is even further reason for you to think this isn't a natural object?
Well, yes, because there is limited reservoir of rocky material per unit volume in interstellar space, and even if you package all of it in objects of this size or bigger, then there is just not enough number of objects to deliver them at random once per decade to the inner solar system. So that's another issue, and the trajectory of this object is aligned with the planets around the sun, the plane of the planets. And on the one hand, that's extremely rare, 1 in 500 chance, but on the other hand, it offers us an opportunity to observe it. And indeed, by the end of this week, it will come within 29 million kilometers from Mars, and there are several orbiters there that were deposited there by NASA, by the European Space Agency, by the Chinese Space Agency. And we will get much more information about it. In particular, we can get an image with a 30-kilometer pixel size. So we can then look at the brightest pixel and infer how big is the object.
So if you think the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer that it's a man-made object, meteor, what is it?
Well, there are some other anomalies. During July and August, there was some glow in front of the object towards the sun, 10 times longer than it is wide. We don't see that often in comets. Usually the glow is behind, trailing the object away from the sun.
What does that tell you then?
Well, we don't know. You see, that is work in progress, and we just need more data. My point is simple. Any intelligence agency knows that they need to make a contingency plan for black swan events that are rare, unlikely, but could make a huge difference. We should do the same for interstellar objects. Just be aware of the possibility that it could represent alien tech.
Okay, anytime I hear black swan event and alien tech and interstellar objects, you're giving me, it's nightmare fuel. Avi Loeb, I'm sure we'll have you back. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
This is becoming a real deal, guys. This is not even a joke.
Not comfortable with this Comet Atlas.
I know.
And we've
got Avi Loeb coming on to talk about it.
He's amazing. I had him on my podcast a long time ago. He put up with my ass.
A lot of people in the beginning were saying that it's bullshit. It's a comet. Why is he saying this? He's risking his reputation. But then as time's going on, they're going, well, this is weird. This thing's really weird.
Well, okay. First of all, it's important to note the one thing that titillates my dumbass is it just so happens the government shutdown coincides with when we could use the satellites on Mars to get pictures of that fucking thing. So we're not getting pictures. They did release a picture of it yesterday.
Wait a minute. The government shutdown is stopping us from getting pictures of this thing?
Yes. Yes.
That's insane.
That's insane. Now
that's so insane. They should open that up.
I mean, it seems like that's really weird. Did you see the images that just came in though? The Europeans got an image of it.
It's weird looking.
It's weird looking, but I don't know what a comet looks like. So
I don't know what a comet looks like, and I don't know why it's weirder than other comets.
But it does seem like it's going loop, loop. It's like rolling in a weird way, but it's the gas, right? It's like it's what it's releasing is the weird part.
Well, the weird part is coming from the same part of the universe where the WoW signal came from.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's weird.
That's fucking weird.
That's weird. Because that WoW signal, what was it, like 70 seconds long? Some very strange coded signal. It was 70 seconds long.
You know what else is weird is Jeremy Corbell said a bunch of people are going to start saying there's a mothership coming to Earth and don't believe him. Remember he was saying that?
Yeah, what's that all about? Why did he know that?
I don't know.
You got to tell people why you know something like that. You can't just say that.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? How do you know that it's not really a mothership? How do you know they're going to say it's a mothership?
Well, Corbell, he's got to do this tightrope walk because somehow he does have inside contacts, but if he says too much, he puts his whole life in danger.
It's such a spy TV show, dude. So much of it seems like a spy TV show. So much of it seems like.
He mentions Jeremy Corbell. I'm about to play Jeremy Corbell. You know what? I'll do it right now. Then we're gonna come back to Avi Loeb. So here. This is what Jeremy Corbell has to say. Remember, he just said that Jeremy Corbell wants to say a lot, but he can't because of the government and him being part of the Army or Air Force or some shit or probably part of the military. And he saw stuff. Him and other people have came out. So one of the things is that him and the other people around are saying is that it's very strange how the certain military bases and operations were being used. They sent out to go on a little joint operation, and then supposedly somehow they had all the right technology. They were all in the right place as flying craft came. So it's going to speculate that the military has some very powerful craft and they're setting up other military members to see these things. And then when they admit that they see these things, they're like, oh, no, you're crazy. But in the back, they're like, it worked. So it's good. And then they don't want the people to talk. So here's Jeremy Corbell.
But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there's a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today with a year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie. Not going to be part of it. Not going to say it to the camera. Everybody knows. Just start paying attention. And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through it. Now you can verify it. If that's the case, then I'm fucking dangerous. You've been told the truth about UFOs for a long time now. It's been pretty orchestrated, it's been pretty clear, and it's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth. Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? Hope I'm wrong, but it's terrifying. Think about it. Maybe it's good to get ahead of it. Call it out now before they do it. I'll be called crazy. That's okay.
Now, he said it's good to be ahead before they do it. What is it that they're going to do? Here, I'm going to show you. Project Bluebeam. This is where it gets tricky.
An alien attack. Project Bluebeam. Can you describe what that is?
It's the ability to stage, through very advanced technologies, an alien attack or an alien event. And it's a whole series of them. Now, what most people don't know about, since late 50s, early 60s, like the Barney Hill case and all that, those were all human assets abducting innocent people made to look alien. And so that psychological warfare was authorized in 1953, 54. 1954, we mastered gravity control. So we started deploying these assets to begin to condition the public that there's a scary threat from outer space. I mean, look at Hollywood, Alien, Ridley Scott's, the movies. If you want to see a script for what's coming fairly soon, look at the movie Independence Day. Okay. It's right out of central casting for this covert group. So what their whole purpose is to create sort of a global militarized totalitarian superstate of the world fighting another world. It's like War of the Worlds. Okay. And that's been a 70-year defense.
So, okay, Project Bluebeam is definitely a well thought out plan by the military. And if you want to see, I'm gonna show you. This actually came out. I'm glad it came across my timeline. Here is a video of hidden advanced technology from Lockheed Martin. So this is one of their skycraft.
Scope setup attached to it for my night viewing the night before. So I quickly grabbed. At some point, after I'd gone into my tent for the night, in the early hours of the morning, they'd replaced the model that had been on the pole the night before with something different. This wasn't that thin triangle that I'd seen before. My tripod still had the night vision and spotting scope setup attached to it for my night viewing the night before. So I quickly grabbed my camera and shot handheld for the rest of this. Wow, it's hard to tell what that thing is at this distance, especially through all the heat haze, but it looks pretty crazy. They got it rotating on that pylon pretty fast too.
Think of it like a NG pylon, like a reactor-ish, like a huge Tesla battery, huge coil.
Looks like potentially like an upside down fuselage of maybe a drone or... Well, the pole just kind of tilted back, so I'm thinking that means it's about to retract down below. Boy, I caught this thing just in time because I haven't been watching it here for very long. Yep, there it goes. They're starting to pull it back under, down into the prep chamber. Wow, it's so crazy to see it retract.
Oh, what is it? Oh, they have no wonder. That's why they use these huge doors just out of nowhere. Huge doors on the ground everywhere, and out of nowhere, in middle of nowhere, bases like this.
Sure enough, after not too much time, the truck emerged from the underground entrance with the airframe or test article loaded on the back of it. There was an entourage of other vehicles following it as well.
Thankfully, this video is brand new. Literally, this has not been out for long. very fascinating stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and keep going with this. I'm gonna show you. Let's see. You know, a little bit more what Abilov has to say.
Very massive, so that this evaporation is not pushing it much. And we get a mass of 33 billion tons. That's the minimum mass. The object needs to be more massive than that, 33 billion tons, so that it will not be pushed back by the level of evaporation that was measured for it. And that means if you translate that for solid density, you end up with a size that must be larger than 5 kilometers. Now, this is just a lower limit. It could be much larger
Bigger
than
than
that. It could be
Manhattan.
larger than Manhattan Island. 5 kilometers is about half the size of Manhattan Island. So we don't know how big it actually is, but we have a lower limit, a minimum mass, that a minimum size that it could have, and that one is already, 100,000 times bigger in mass than the first interstellar object. Now, why is that puzzling? Well, there is a limited reservoir of material available in interstellar space, and we should have seen 100,000 objects like the first one, Oumuamua. That was the first interstellar object. It was given the name Oumuamua because it was discovered by a telescope in Hawaii, and that means a scout in the Hawaiian language. So there should have been 100,000 of those small ones of the order of the size of a football field, about a tenth of a kilometer in size, for every big one that is the size, the minimum size that we infer for the new interstellar object, 3iAtlas.
So he's saying that if there were smaller objects, they would make up. You can definitely see them come out of the bigger object, I guess, in a sense. And in one sense, if there were 10 objects, it would there would probably be like a tenth of the size of one of these objects. That was of Oumuamua, which was the last object, which was, I don't even know what it was. It was a few years ago, I believe. And this 3iAtlas is bigger than Manhattan. And if the other satellite reports are correct, then they are already seeing objects come out of this bigger object, which may also indicate that this is not just a normal meteor or comet. Now, I guess this might just be one of the biggest things of this year, right? We're going to see old school William Cooper talk about this Project Bluebeam, the plan to stage a fake alien invasion. Now, William Cooper is definitely known to just be a truth warrior, straight up. Like, if you want to know what's going down, you listen to some old school William Cooper, and this guy is from like the 90s and doesn't pull no punches. Way ahead of his time. Let's go ahead and get into this, man. This one is going to be a 20-minute video. Then I'm going to play another 20-minute video. I'm just checking out some things. Yeah, they're all short. All these videos were short so far. These are the longest videos that are about to play. So stay tuned and let's get into these. And you guys can now watch these. Get a quick drink while you're doing it. And this is very interesting to think about because now is the time, right? They have the technology, they have everything they want. They have society in fear and panic. After all this COVID stuff, people are scared. Whatever the news comes out with, they freaking swallow it like candy, like ecstasy, like drugs, like it's their favorite snack and favorite sweet, right, man? People swallow up the news like no other now, and it's so strange. It's left, after COVID, it was like left to right, left to right, left to right, and okay, whatever. For me, I stayed away from like being on either side. So, man, I'm not in that fear mode. Yeah, a lot of people are though. I hope you guys aren't. Do not be in fear mode. Only fear God. Let's go watch this.
Years ago, many years ago, in fact, in 1972, I was sitting at my desk at about 4:30 in the morning at the headquarters of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet, arranging the information that had come in over the last 24 hours into a logical order so that we could prepare a briefing for the Admiral and his staff, which would take place later that morning. Among the papers I found on my desk was a document entitled Operation Majority, and it was not the entire paperwork involving this operation, but was merely a synopsis of the operation and projects contained under it. One of these projects was called Project Red Light. The purpose, according to this document, was to back-engineer captured extraterrestrial technology for adaptation into the United States space program. Now, I have since come to believe that the extraterrestrial portion of all of this is nonsense, but that the technology is real. I believe that many of us were shown these documents over the years so that later we would talk about it. I mean, how can you keep the existence of extraterrestrials, if they were real, a secret? And how could anyone keep quiet knowing that they had seen documentation, official government documents labeled top secret, that expressed that these extraterrestrials were real and had visited this Earth? I wanted to know just how true all of this was, and I began a program of research to find out if extraterrestrials were real. The first thing I did was collect every bit of documentation that I could find, both from the Freedom of Information Act, from the research of others, from books that had been printed on the subject of UFOs, and of course through my network of friends in the intelligence community. What I discovered was amazing. What I discovered, ladies and gentlemen, is that there has been a plan in existence since about 1917, and probably before that, to create an artificial extraterrestrial threat to this Earth in order to create a one-world totalitarian socialist government. One of the first documents that I found in my search was this one, the Imperial Japanese Mission 1917, a record of the reception throughout the United States of the special mission headed by Viscount Ishii. And when the Imperial Japanese Mission was in New York City, they had a dinner, and some pretty famous people spoke at this dinner. One of them was John Dewey. John Dewey is the father of our failing, disastrous public education system. Here's what he said. Listen very carefully. John Dewey, professor of philosophy in Columbia University, who was the next speaker, was listened to with great intentness. He said, quote, "Someone remarked that the best way to unite all the nations on this globe would be an attack from some other planet. In the face of such an alien enemy, people would respond with a sense of their unity of interest and purpose." Unquote. Now, bear in mind, folks, that's 1917. One of the next documents that I found, and I found quite a few, but one that's pretty important, is called the Report from Iron Mountain, the Probability and Desirability of Permanent Peace. Now, I encourage you to find this book, wherever you can find it. I don't know where you can get it, but find it. Page 66. Credibility, in fact, lies at the heart of the problem of developing a political substitute for war. This is where the space race proposals, in many ways so well suited as economic substitutes for war, fall short. The most ambitious and unrealistic space project cannot of itself generate a believable external menace. It has been hotly argued that such a menace would offer the last best hope of peace, etc., by uniting mankind against the danger of destruction by creatures from other planets or from outer space. Experiments have been proposed to test the credibility of an out-of-our-world invasion threat. And it continues on another page. Nevertheless, an effective political substitute for war would require alternate enemies, some of which might seem equally far-fetched in the context of the current war system. It may be, for instance, that gross pollution of the environment can eventually replace the possibility of mass destruction by nuclear weapons as the principal substitute for war. Are you beginning to get the message, folks? Poisoning of the air and of the principal sources of food and water supply is already well advanced, and at first glance would seem promising in this respect. It constitutes a threat that can be dealt with only through social organization and political power. But from present indications, it will be a generation to a generation and a half before environmental pollution, however severe, will be sufficiently menacing on a global scale to offer a possible basis for a solution. However unlikely some of the possible alternate enemies we have mentioned may seem, we must emphasize that one must be found of credible quality and magnitude if a transition to peace is ever to come about without social disintegration. It is more probable, in our judgment, that such a threat will have to be invented rather than developed from unknown conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, they have created so many alternate enemies in order to bring about their one-world totalitarian socialist state that we don't know which enemy to believe is real or is false, or whether to just toss them all out on their ears. And I think that that is probably going to be the best solution. Disarmament is no accident. All of these bills in Congress to take away our weapons is no accident. The intentional environmental pollution of our lakes, rivers, streams, oceans, forests, everything is no accident, as you just heard. These things were planned many, many years ago. All the bombardment of the public with movies about flying saucers in the 50s, right after the United Nations Treaty was signed and the UN Participation Act was pushed through Congress, and all of the incidents since that have convinced the majority of the American people that flying saucers are real and extraterrestrials exist, and that flying saucers are from an extraterrestrial origin. This is being promulgated in many ways, by television commercials, in the movies, in the newspapers, by creating incidents either real or imagined. I believe, because of my research, and because of the extensive documentation that I've found and that is in my book, that this whole scenario has been created to give us an artificial alien threat from outer space. During the Reagan administration, he made 6 speeches, specifically talked about a threat from outer space by some other species from some other planet. 6, ladies and gentlemen. Why would the president repeat the same? The speechwriters did not put that in the speech. Ronald Reagan added it himself.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This was a powerful suggestion to implant into the minds of the people of the world that there really is a threat from some other species, from some other planet to this Earth. Now, you people out there have been ignoring the UFO phenomenon for too long. It has all the earmarks of the most successful, most sophisticated mind control operation in the history of the world, and you are ignoring it. What better way to implement a plan to bring about a one-world government than to create the possibility in the minds of the people of the world that we are being threatened from some other species, from some other planet, and do it in a way that if anybody questions it or challenged it or wants to talk about it publicly, that they are ridiculed.
And the ultimate goal is to make the Earth look very small, to present the people of the world with an external threat to this Earth, a superior race from some other planet, vastly superior to us in intellect, philosophy, and technology, in order to cause the dissolution of nation-states, the dissolution of all existing religions, and the formation of the world totalitarian socialist government.
I don't think there are any. At one time, I thought that there were, simply based upon documents that I'd seen while I was attached to the intelligence briefing team, the commander-in-chief of the Pacific Fleet. At that time, and even for many years afterwards, I did not believe that the government would use me in that way. I had devoted my whole life to government service. I had been in the Air Force, I was in the Navy, I was a river patrol boat captain in Vietnam. I had proved myself. I had combat ribbons with the V for Valor. There was no doubt of my loyalty to my country. And maybe that's why it was so easy to use me, because I wouldn't doubt that what I saw was real. But over the years, I've done a lot of research. And what I've discovered is there's no proof existing anywhere that extraterrestrials are real, or that have ever visited this planet, or that they exist anywhere in the universe. There is not one shred of evidence anywhere. There is lots of evidence, tons of it in fact, that there are a group of people collectively known as the Illuminati who want us to believe in some extraterrestrial threat from space so that they can cause a world government, bringing together of all the people to resist that external threat. And the first time that I saw any reference to that, I was reading some papers from the Carnegie Endowment Fund, and there was a record of a speech. Well, it was a dinner for Viscount Ishii of the Japanese delegation, the Japanese imperial delegation, in 1917. And John Dewey was one of the speakers. And the first sentence out of his mouth, as I was reading this, I almost fell out of my chair, because this was in 1917. And he said, the best way to cause all the people of the world to come together in one world government and end war forever would be if we were attacked by some other species from some other planet. And boy, that just clicked with me, and I knew that that this is just another scam. This is the age of deception. There's no doubt about it. And then 8 times during Reagan's administration, he inserted almost the exact same phrase into 8 of his speeches. And it's a scam. That's what I can tell you. What they call UFOs, these craft that fly around the sky, are real. But they're not piloted by some little green guy from some other planet. They're owned and operated by the United States of America for one, the Soviet Union for another, probably Great Britain, Canada. I think the first really operable ones were probably manufactured in Western Canada, in the wilderness, in a place especially built to create those machines, like we created the Manhattan Project, and the same kind of secrecy surrounded it. So the technology is real. It's been kept secret, and it's been used to promote this concept that there's an alien threat to this Earth. The cattle mutilations I've discovered in my research are nothing more than what's left after the government does its secret tests on the low-level radiation leakage from its atomic weapons assembly plants and atomic power plants. It's a low-level radiation monitoring project. And if you look at what's missing in the cattle, you'll see that it's just as clear as day. They take the lips, they take the tongue, they take a 6-inch patch of skin, they core out the rectum, the colon area, where those kinds of things would collect. They pass through the digestive system. On female cows, they take the udder to check for low-level radiation in the milk. This is being passed to the calves. And these are all grazing animals that graze on the grass where the radiation falls when it falls from the air. And it's just an incredible deception. And I'm just amazed that people have fallen for it in the manner that they have, in the absence of any proof whatsoever. I mean, they cite hearsay as proof.
Well, what about all of the alien abductions?
They're not abductions. They're the results of a tremendously successful and very sophisticated mind control operation, all of which has been in development. Well, they started working on those kinds of things since before World War II, but they have perfected them. On my website, I have a patent of a machine that can read your brain waves can recombine them in a computer and send them back to you and make you think things happened that never happened. I mean, you can't get a patent for something like that unless it really works. You have to prove it to the patent office. It works. The patent was issued. And this is just one of the things that snuck by them that hasn't. Because when people invent things like this, they're sucked up by the government immediately, and then they're put behind the veil of national security and classified, and then nobody knows about them. But every once in a while, something sneaks by them. And when you do these searches in the patent office and the trademark office and in the copyright office, you come up with some real gems once in a while, and that was one. Also, the congressional investigations into the intelligence community has revealed the existence of these programs, and there's no secret about it. It's documented. Project Artichoke, Project MK Ultra, MK Naomi. I could go on and on and on all day long. And if you had the time in your movie, we could lay out all the documentation, which is official government documentation, and prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that it's true. But that's what it is. It's not extraterrestrials coming down. The human body cannot pass through walls or roofs, or through windows that are closed. This is all the product of the imagination and people's willingness to believe something because they want it to be true. I don't know why they would want it to be true. You see, because if it were true, these are not friendly aliens. They're doing some terrible things to people. If I were to kidnap somebody, pass them up through the roof, and take them somewhere, and perform operations on them, and take samples of semen and ova from their reproductive organs, and plant thoughts in their mind, and all this kind of stuff, and then bring them back, guess where I'd be right now? In prison. It's kidnapping. It's criminal. It's a terrible thing. So there's a morbid sense about all this too, as if people want to be hurt for some reason. I don't understand that. But that certainly is something that somebody needs to look at. Why do people feel that this needs to be real? What in them says, I want to be abducted and abused and kidnapped and raped and all of this stuff against my will? Because they seem to take some kind of satisfaction that this is happening. And nobody's talking about the fact that this is a terrible thing to happen. If I were to do that to you, you wouldn't be too happy, would you? But somehow it's okay if an alien does it? I don't think so. It's all bullshit. It's a lie.
So where do you feel the hope for America lies?
Oh, this is William Cooper, a man who received mainstream attention in 1994 when Rush Limbaugh read an alleged White House memo on the air calling him the most dangerous radio host in America. Maybe that's because his conspiracy classic is the underground bestseller, or perhaps it's because of the increasing popularity of his shortwave radio broadcast, which is also available on the internet.
Good evening. You're listening to the Hour of the Time. I'm still William Cooper.
This was not an easy interview to net. He was the first person I asked, and after 8,000 miles and 6.5 weeks on the road, just about the last to agree. I guess he wanted to make sure I was serious. Nevertheless, I had to come alone, and I was required to follow clear rules of conduct.
Well, at this point, I've done so much research on this. I have to tell you, there's only one way this is going. There's going to be a civil war in this country. And I hope the outcome of the war will be the reinstatement of constitutional Republican government. But whenever you have a war like that, you're going to have competing factions to be the winner. And whoever really has the power in the end is going to institute whatever kind of government they feel should be there. There are people in this country who believe that a religious theology or theocracy should prevail. Well, if that happened, we'd have burnings at the stake again, and inquisitions, and heretics, and all of these kinds of things. So that can't be allowed to happen. Can't be. Doesn't matter what my religion is. It can't be allowed to happen. There are people who want a socialist government, much like the one in Sweden. There are people who want to create in the United States what the Soviet Union had hoped to be. There are real Nazis, all of them socialists. Hitler was a socialist. So I see the future as being tremendously dangerous for all of us. Me and many others like me are going to perform a valiant attempt to reinstate, restore legitimate, lawful, constitutional Republican government. Whether or not we're going to be successful, I can't tell you. But I will tell you that once this war starts, it's going to be terrible, it's going to be bloody, and it'll last for 10 to 15 years. That's the nature of this kind of conflict. If you look around at all these mountains around here, there's enough guns, ammunition, supplies, clothing, and food buried in these mountains to support an army for 15 years. And I don't think the American people realize that they're on the brink of a civil war. You see, there are many of us who took an oath when we went in the armed forces, and we meant it. We volunteered. We weren't drafted. We care about this country. And the oath was to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we will fulfill that oath, even if it means we die in the process of doing it. It's that simple.
So what do you see happening in the next 4 to 6 months?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball. All I know is that the year 2000 is crucial to the plans of those who want world government, because they whipped up sort of a millennium fever, and they coupled that with Y2K and a whole bunch of other things. Real religious people who think that this is the end of the world and Jesus is coming or somebody's coming imminently. And so there's this fever that's whipped up. I mean, everybody seems to be on the edge of some kind of hysteria. But it's all in their mind. If you look around, you see the world hasn't changed. It's not coming to an end. This hasn't been brought about by the hand of God. It's been brought about by the deceptions of man. And the quicker people realize that and try and find out who is causing these things to whip up this hysteria, the better off they're going to be.
Man. So William Cooper is a real one. Rest in peace, William Cooper. I wish that somehow, some way, he could have made it to this day and age on a radio show or something. We're gonna go down and see what. I would say that this is what the public is being told by some people right here on what this 3iAtlas is. They are saying it is a Draco ship. So this is the Cosmic Disclosure with Josh Golembesk. And so he's saying it's a Draco ship. It's an alien ship. He says right here. So it's a perception-based intelligence specialist, Sebastian Martin. Does that sound like a French intelligence agent? I don't know. That sounds weird. A perception-based intelligence specialist. What is that? Why is there so many words? Four words to declare your job, dude. Like put it down to one. Perception-based into. Dude, I don't. That's so strange. Anyways, this is what he came out with an interview. He's saying that there's an alien ship with this. There's more to it. I believe what some of these people are saying online is that it is going to help shift humanity. These guys are coming to free humanity. These guys don't want to deal with humanity's wickedness anymore, so they're coming to take over, and which is strangely just what I showed in the 3 body problem, and how the 3 body problem is based on these entities who are coming from a galaxy that's dying, but they're seeing that we're gullible and we're evil, and so they want to come over and take over in their evil ways, and they think that they can, well, not think, but they trick our best scientists and best people on the planet to pretty much invite these guys over free, and let the military put their weapons down, arms down, in the sky, and not attack them. And yeah, it's weird. So there's some correlation how these guys are saying that coming to free humanity, and in a sense that Three Body Problem movie show, it's getting all the attention and hype somehow, some way. And it's just been created in the last 20 some years, where these operations have really been going on. Because I wonder if it all really started with the Arizona Lights in the 1990s. That thing was huge, and the whole city remembers it. If you ask anybody from Arizona who's lived there for 20 years, 30 years, and you say, hey, what's up with the Phoenix Lights? The Phoenix Lights, Arizona Phoenix, Arizona, whatever. Yeah, they know about it. All the city people know about it. It almost like hypnotized the city, and it's stuck in their mind like permafrost, like forever. It was one of the big. I think that's actually the biggest UFO event ever. It was recorded by the whole city, multiple people, multiple cameras, multiple flight carriers. Everything, everybody in the city. We're gonna go on. Let's check this out by Sebastian Martin. Remember, he's a perception-based intelligence
3iAtlas. 3iAtlas. A lot of people are talking about that right now. Hot button topic.
Right. So
it says right here, a massive mothership packed with millions of dormant Draco reptilian soldiers. Martin shares the chilling description and testimony from a European organization for nuclear research, who have been open to contact non-human intelligences at CERN. So this is where the CERN particle collider comes into play. So some of these researchers from CERN, remember, I have shown the videos in prior episodes where the CERN researchers about 2 years ago, they were saying that they were conducting research and contacting entities, and these entities were on the other side. And I have broken down a bit how Stranger Things, the show, references the possibility of using these entities also. If there's multiple, they can use these entities to like attack people and target target broken elite kids, the probably the kid, like, well, not probably, but the Hollywood kids. Like, so what do you see with these Hollywood kids? They're broken, and it seems like they're like they believe they're some type of alien and superhuman and super divine being, right? And so I don't know, something like that, right? Or more importantly, they're allowing these entities to go into politicians or just maybe make deals with these guys, or they're just allowing these guys to send ships. Right here, who knows? The timeline of 2027 approaches where this ship should be coming in. Who knows if it's going to come at 2027 or before?
I remote viewed the objects first, and I basically was determining that it was more of a craft, more of a mothership.
Okay.
I'm not the only one who came up with this idea. Like, I already basically expressed it to other people I know, and a lot of other remote viewers have also been saying that, yeah, I can confirm whatever you've been seeing. And then more recently, I was in touch with a person, like a scientist. So I spoke to an astrophysicist who worked at CERN, and she opened up to what she experienced there. And I was quite amazed by the content. So indirectly, she was introduced to me from a person in the intelligence world, and she felt compelled to address it. She was more of a consultant working for CERN.
Okay.
And as a young person, she was basically at the same time shocked and excited about what she saw and what she heard. And the content of that was at CERN, they've used their collider
to open up a portal to communicate with extraterrestrial beings.
Whoa.
And one of them are the
come in.
occupants from 3iAtlas.
What's up?
Can you use this?
That's
What
an
is this?
incredible
Turn on
statement.
light.
So you
Oh,
remote
no,
viewed
what is it?
3iAtlas. Did you do that on your own, or were you
don't
tasked
turn on
with
light.
this
Don't turn on light.
assignment?
You're
No,
good.
I was tasked by the same intelligence people I'm working with to look at
was that in the
object,
bathroom?
because those had concerns. But what I saw
No, sure,
as
I'll
a
try
remote
to see.
viewer
I'll
was
just put it
a
up. I'll
mothership
see.
with occupants on board, and they were mostly direct reptilian occupants.
Okay.
That's what I saw as a remote viewer, and
And that was corroborated by other remote viewers seeing the same thing.
That's correct. Yes,
the ship and Draco.
That's correct. One of them is John Vivenko, who is also a known remote viewer, and he announced it publicly as well, and other people from the Stargate program as well. So they basically all came up with the same idea. And when I was asked to talk to this astrophysicist, I was kind of surprised because I had no contacts at CERN directly. And then all of a sudden I was talking to this woman, and she was telling me that the portal that was opening up to speak to those beings was already in existence, like almost like in a boardroom setting. So they show up and then they interact with scientists and communicate directly with them.
Okay, wait. So I know this is some of our audience might understand what you're saying, but to be clear, CERN already has a room and a technology to open a portal to talk to extraterrestrials.
Yes.
But recently, they also used it to communicate with the beings on 3iAtlas.
That's correct.
Okay, go on.
So those beings introduced themselves as such, like I said, we are the occupants of this object. I don't know exactly what were the exact communication to address the object, if they say it was 3iAtlas or something else, I don't know. But somehow the scientists knew it was from 3iAtlas for what was coming.
Okay.
And they did not show up physically. They show up as holograms. Now, I didn't really know how they look like, so I didn't really ask the question, which is kind of silly of me, but they apparently showed up as holograms. They looked tall, that's what she said, and they communicated telepathically with every single scientist in the room.
Wow.
And they all got the same message, which is that they are coming in peace and are just trying to come over here to gather all the star seeds of this planet. That's pretty much, to me, it's kind of a cryptic message. I don't know what that means exactly, but that's how they introduce themselves as to come here.
So when you remote viewed, did you pick up on that intention as well?
Yes and no. I believe that the direct reptilians, will be coming to Earth, but as to know what the exact intent, that I could not really say.
Well, this is an extraordinary development.
It is, yeah. So you know that 3iAtlas is always like shaping up. So right now it's actually on its way to the sun. And it's going towards Mars, and the directions of it is actually getting closer to Mars. So it's changing directions.
That's unusual.
We know that it changed colors, right? So it went from red hue colors to green colors, which is the presence of nickel, without the presence of iron, which is not seen in any comets or in the space in general. And it had a light on the front of it, which was not as a coma. The light was coming from the front, and it was shining over 100 kilometers ahead. But the energy field emanating from that comet is too strong and too powerful to be just a regular natural comet, basically.
You're calling it a comet, but
yeah, it's not. I don't think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fascinating. So, what do you think they mean by gathering up the star seeds?
Yeah, that's kind of a twofold situation for me. Like, they could be, if they are truly coming over to help humanity and they're not direct reptilians, and they could be Anunnaki or they could be another race, then their intentions may be to help, the star seeds to evolve to the next level.
Okay, so
right?
it could be positive.
It could be very positive. If this the other way around, and the direct reptilians decides to eliminate or take off or get rid of the star seeds of this planet because they could be a potential threat to their existence in the future and now, then I believe this threat could be easily averted. And that's what I picked up as well from the Galactic Alliance, that they will be coming over and come to Earth and save humanity, basically, for saving their own.
Okay. And when you say coming to Earth, is the mothership going to actually approach Earth, or
no,
probes and smaller vessels will come out and...
Yeah, what I picked up was like 3iAtlas would never show up to Earth. And then probably like a few thousand ships would just come out of it and then come to Earth. And that would be part of like the open disclosure that, you will see them everywhere around the planet at that point.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep a lid on disclosure in that scenario.
Right.
So is the SSP preparing for this? Is NASA preparing for this moment?
They prepared for this for a while. So they were already aware of their arrival. They were already aware that the spaceship was coming in and that they were intervening and trying to get towards them on the back of the sun before the approach, happened. Like they already knew. So I think they are talking about interception, or maybe potentially like talks. So I think there are some communications going on.
Okay.
As to know how successful they will be, that I'm not sure. But I know from like firsthand that that's what they are planning on doing, if it hasn't already happened.
Okay, so Sebastian, there's also something else being reported right now. There seems to be these other 7 to 9 comets potentially coming close to 3iAtlas. What do you know about that?
Yeah, so all of these potential comets, they are all interstellar objects as well, and they are coming from outer space, and they are all converging towards 3iAtlas and the sun.
Okay.
So to have that situation is very remote. Just to have like 3iAtlas to come through the solar systems and to predict it to be grazing Mars and the sun and then Earth and afterwards Jupiter, it's like one chance in 500. To having all of these objects at the same time is like a few chances in 1 million or 2 million or more. So it's very remote. So to know that those objects, especially C2025 Swan Comet, is like the size, it's like 100 times bigger than 3iAtlas. And that's actually going towards the sun at pretty high speed as well.
So is that one of the 9 objects we're talking about? Is that, okay.
That's correct.
Okay, that's interesting. So just clarify for me, did you remote view this, or is this also what the scientists are saying?
This is what the scientists are saying.
Sebastian, what more did you learn from the astrophysicist?
Well, nothing, because after my chat with her, the day later, her sister called the contact I had in the intelligence world and was panicking, thinking, what happened to my sister? I can't get a hold of her, and she's not responding. And then after that, I've learned that she was on the run. So I think her life got threatened, if not worse. I'm not quite sure at this point, because I think CERN is trying to obviously protect this information. I know that that person either way doesn't want to talk or doesn't want to open the line of communication anymore.
She's on the run, so that means does CERN control CERN, or do intelligence agencies or governments control what's going on there?
Yeah, I believe that if they were an entity on their own, they would have not decided to shut her down. I think they are being controlled by other agencies, if not countries. It might not just be one. Being in Switzerland, you don't really know who is actually behind CERN and what is being prevented for them to access and share. We know that CERN has, obviously with that collider, they pretty much have exceeded what we even imagine as being part of science fiction. And I heard stories that spheres came out of CERN and went through the walls of CERN as well. So I think we don't really know the extent of the communications that they've established with those ETs.
So Sebastian, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have multiple friends within the SSP. What are they saying about this situation?
Well, surprisingly enough, they don't seem to be that worried. So I know.
That makes me feel good.
I know. It's they seem to have the situation under control, it seems. They don't seem to be, at all concerned about the 3iAtlas coming in or Swan or any other bodies. So I believe that they have the manpower and the technology to ward off a potential invasion if there was one in mind of that spaceship. But I think they truly believe that it's under control.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's been the same message from all the people I know. So I didn't feel as confident, but they seem to be. So
let's talk a little bit more about Swan, one of these 9 other objects that is gigantic, way bigger than 3iAtlas.
Right.
What can you say about that? Any more?
Yeah, so the SSP has shot at it. And it was in the morning, and they didn't seem to have any change in course. So Swan did not budge from this attack. And I don't know exactly what that means as to why they would do this. If it was obviously not friendly, and if it was trying to get to 3iAtlas, because it was aiming in that direction, it didn't seem to affect it.
Why did they shoot at it, and what did they shoot at it?
I believe it's because it was getting too close to Earth compared to 3iAtlas.
Made him nervous.
Yes. So they wanted to actually act on that spaceship first, which they believe it is as well, and going towards 3iAtlas. Now, if they were friendlies or if they were part of the Galactic Alliance, you don't think they would try to shoot at it.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is why I'm assuming that this is not a friendly craft.
Okay, I know the SSP is not concerned with 3iAtlas. They just shot at Swan, so obviously there's some concern, but is there concern that Swan may land or no? Are they pretty confident?
No, that's the thing. That's the same thing. They don't believe that any of these crafts will land, apart from the smaller crafts coming from those motherships.
So we have the SSP engaging these comets and with concern, and some not concerned. They don't think they're going to land. But is the Galactic Federation involved in this at all? Are they helping the SSP? Why didn't? I guess what I'm trying to say is, why didn't the Galactic Federation step in?
Well, they did. They were part of the SSP, so they actually participated in that maneuver. That's why they were so confident in doing it in the first place.
Okay, okay.
The Galactic Alliance was not part of it. So the Galactic Alliance are all the ETs that are part of this alliance who are not on Earth. They never aided the SSP or the Galactic Federation. Some factions are part of it, but the Galactic Alliance is always doing things remotely. But now it seems like they are the ones coming in as well to help.
I know you've spoken about this before, but can you just educate me and the audience quick on the difference between the Galactic Alliance and the Galactic Federation?
Yeah, so the Galactic Federation is basically a body mixing up human beings, usually from military intelligence, and ETs from various races. And they've been helping them with technology, reverse engineering, pretty much everything that we know from the SSP. They received help to train all the SSP soldiers, remote viewers, empath, all of that. These came from the Galactic Federation. And then the Galactic Alliance are the ones in charge of the star seeds of this planet. Some of them could be still helping the SSP, like the Pleiadians are, but it doesn't mean that the Pleiadians working for the SSP basically respond or report to the Galactic Alliance.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting because there's a treaty in place, so the Pleiadians know that they have to help humanity evolve, but at the same time, there are some who are physically here, who are helping the SSP on Earth. And normally that should be against protocol, right? So, but when you have so many races involved, the treaties got changed or modified to create the Galactic Federation.
Okay.
That still involves multiple races on Earth, but without truly interfering with humanity and society as we know it.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 3iAtlas itself. It's a gigantic comet, the size roughly of New York City or bigger. What are we talking about here? Like, how many people or how many Draco can a craft that size house?
So I remote viewed the craft and I got direct information from that.
Okay.
And my take on that, I did just remote view the amount of people on board. I also remote viewed the technology was inside, the whole decks, the pods, the whole thing on the inside. So I can see they are using antimatter and fusion technology. And they also have pods housing less than 5 million Draco reptilian soldiers inside. And so they're all dormant. They're not using space. They're not eating. They're not doing anything. They're just basically just waiting to be awakened. And they're all in pods.
You use the word soldier.
Yes.
That is a little unnerving.
Yeah, I mean, the Draco race is known to be fighting wars in other galaxies, and obviously they destroyed the Pleiadians' home planet. So that's in their genes. That's what they do. And at the same time, it's for their own safety, that they are trying to protect themselves. They don't know what's coming. They don't know who they're going to be facing. So that's why they keep those soldiers in that situation. They're not active. So when they travel through space, they just keep them in that state.
Oh, so it doesn't mean they're necessarily coming here with soldiers to attack.
That's correct. That doesn't mean that they're coming in to wake them up all and, to invade Earth. That's not the plan. I'm just saying that they are there on, just in case, because it is a mothership.
All right, Sebastian, big question. While you were remote viewing 3iAtlas, this comet, did you pick up on any type of agenda for why it's approaching Earth?
Yeah, but I don't think I want to talk about that. It's just, I believe that, yes, there's an agenda from the Dracos, but at the same time, for whatever I've seen moving forward, either way, humanity will prevail. And with the help of the Galactic Alliance, I feel pretty confident that whatever is at play won't be successful.
Okay, fair enough. Now, how does this all lead up to 2027, where channelers like Bashar have talked about the year that everything changes? Is 3iAtlas the beginning of this journey to this massive change in 2027? What did you remote view, or what have you learned from your contacts?
Yes, well, I remote viewed both, situations separately.
Okay.
So when I saw 3iAtlas, I basically saw what was yet to come, and all of its potential negative aspects or positive aspect. And then you have the 2027 remote viewing sessions, which to me seemed a bit more positive, and again with these tiered probabilities of AI and open contact. So my first impression was to do with AI, and I believe that AI on its own was not created by humans. It came from the cosmos as intelligence, and it allowed itself to come through the machines that the humans created for us to interact with it.
Okay, so Sebastian, when you're viewing the future, did you see anything else besides AI potentially disrupting us?
Yes, and that's the second part I saw in my remote viewing session, is that humanity really moves up to the next level for sure in 2027, which again will be embracing telepathy and obviously telekinesis, and the shifts that we talked about, like from going from 3D to 4D and 5D, will happen for sure in 2027.
If you had to summarize the most likely trajectory for humanity in 2027, what would it be?
I truly believe that human contact with ETs will happen in 2027 and maybe earlier. In fact, Bashar talked about this, saying it could happen anywhere between 2025 and 2027. So I fully embrace this potential reality. That's the most likely outcome in my eyes, based on what I already know and obviously more details. I think I feel very positive about it, but at the same time, I can't ignore the potential realities of AI and other, potential harm to territories, like, the volcanoes, eruptions, and all of that. But again, we can live with that. We've been living with it for, thousands of years. So we can always adapt to these situations and scenarios. And I think all of these scenarios or even upheaval situations will help humanity to rise up to the challenge and, again, survive whatever comes. So I think either way, we are definitely going to be up to the task, because we are very resilient as human beings, but we're also now ready to learn more. And our brain capacity has expanded a bit. We have the potential use of AI to help us going to the next level too. So we have various potential realities available to us. And I think to be up to certain people to decide what feels best for them. Personally, I don't believe that the use of AI for me would be beneficial. I feel, intuitive enough, and I have enough connections to my star family that I do not necessarily need the use of that. But some people may want that, because it will help them, again, as a society of comfort. Some people may lead to something that seems simple and easy to use to get there, because naturally speaking, they can't. So again, through all of this, doesn't matter how you get there, more people will emerge from this for becoming more awake, and that's a good thing. So I think deep down, I don't criticize the use of AI for this particular scenario. I think some people may choose to go that route, And the way I also saw things, again, merging with the ET races, I know that AI technology will be partly involved mainly for the use and the creation of what we call the grays.
Okay, go on.
So some, like for example, you have the robotic grays and you have the partially biological grays. So there are different types of grays.
Yeah.
And some of these grays are also basically the upbringings or the offsprings of humanity at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And they also monitor humanity and come back to Earth to do exactly the same job as what the Pleiadians are doing right now. So they're also very keen on seeing how AI evolves to their benefit. So the Pleiadians have their own agenda to do with AI. The Greys have a completely different agenda to do with AI. But it doesn't mean it's nefarious. I'm just saying they have a much better understanding of the AI integration with humankind compared to what will become Pleiadians.
Sebastian, once again, thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your clarity. We really appreciate you being here on Cosmic Disclosure.
Thanks for having me.
The last prediction he has made, somewhere around the end of 2026 or the beginning of 2027, there will be some sort of a UFO event that will let humanity know we are not alone. Now, he won't say what that is, but he's basically saying this will be the true beginning of open contact, where you now have to consider the reality that there are others in the cosmos other than yourself.
I'm reading a lot of stuff that says, full contact in 2027. And there's all these people that used to work for NASA or all these other organizations out there talking about how our history as a species is really simply a series of genetic experiments to get us to where we are now.
The word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared, and if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
Special military operations securing the east of Ukraine and Crimea. The Ukraine-Russia war, the NATO-U.S. proxy war with Russia, has come to its most dangerous point at this time. Russia has succeeded in its special military operations securing the east of Ukraine and Crimea. And now, because Ukraine is not having elections and now not suing for peace, and NATO has decided to continue on, Russia is expanding and taking even more cities and more towns and talking about encircling Kharkiv and Kiev and then forcing everybody to evacuate and then leveling the place. So that's what happens in these wars if these escalations continue. And NATO has not come to the table with any of the deals that Putin had basically agreed with Trump. So now Trump says that he is going to give them Tomahawk cruise missiles in the next few weeks, he thinks. Russia came out today and said that is absolute war, that is direct war. You do that, we're going to start targeting NATO targets. This is why there was a threat escalation ladder the RAND Corporation developed in the 50s that has been adopted worldwide. Every government uses it, okay? That's why, remember, Biden said we can't give them F-16s and Abrams tanks. That leads to World War III. That's because on the escalation ladder, there's the next escalation, the next escalation, and we're following the exact escalation up into limited nuclear war, total nuclear war, that basically just happens in a few hours once you go in the last few steps of this. So we have such a normalcy bias, though, that everybody just seems like, oh, that's a million miles away. Ukraine might as well be Mars. It's not. China just cut off all rare earth mineral exports to anybody that works for the U.S. They control 95% of it, okay? The globalists allowed them to be in positions like that. And now China's double-crossed them. This is absolutely out of control. So we're in the new world war. And that's what all the big think tanks have been saying for a couple of years. But now it's official, okay? You got 100,000 plus North Korean troops in Ukraine war coming. You've got all these different proxy wars going on. This is the new world war. Now, the CIA called the Cold War World War III. I agree with that term. This is really World War IV, and it's getting kinetic, it's economic, it's cultural, and it's incredibly dangerous. And NATO did start this. Doesn't mean Russia's perfect. But NATO and the EU are the bad guys. They encircled Russia. They started it. In the case of China, they're the bad guys. They're going into Vietnam, grabbing islands and drilling rigs. They're going into islands around Japan. They're going into the Philippines and stealing islands and ramming people's boats and everything. I mean, they are out of control. They're building huge ports in the Caribbean. They're just taking over. They're trying to push us out of the Panama Canal. So that's the big issue. That's what we should be dealing with, not in this damn thing with Russia. But the EU and the globalists have just absolutely positioned the U.S. for collapse at the end of the dollar, and they're actually working with China. The EU is actually working with China to get us distracted with the Russians off on our flank. Trump knows that, and it's got to stop now. I'll be covering this more today, 4 to 8 p.m. on the Sunday transmission. Please join me then, and please share the live feeds because you have all the power. You are the Paul Revere's. Follow me on Next World Alex Jones, and follow me on the Alex Jones Network channel and Alex Jones channel.
So, do you want me to? Okay. So,
My emotions are too.
tell me about your day.
Which specific part do you want to know?
Let's just start at how this happened, what you were doing.
Well, how this happened, I can only tell you what little bit I know.
Yeah.
So, I left at 7:37. Clocked out 7:37. Would have made it by the gate 7:40. So I live out towards North 13. As soon as I got on South 13 to head towards Waverly, saw 2 police cars coming this direction, and my mind process was like, oh, probably a wreck happened. So I kept driving, got home, I had a little bit of talk with my father, and then I got friends calling me, and they said, are you okay? Are you alive? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, I heard your building blew up. I was like, what are you talking about? The building blew up. At your
recognize this? Yeah, that's Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
And the cast of Glee.
Yeah, there's a few more songs with the same chords. Check it out.
My life is brilliant, my love is pure. I saw an angel, of that I'm sure. People kill and people dying, children hurt and you hear them crying. Can you practice what you preach? Won't you turn the other cheek? Forever young, I wanna be forever young. I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm your lipstick stains on the front of my left side brains. I knew I wouldn't forget you if I could. Then I would. I'd go wherever you will go. Can you feel the love tonight? Nobody wants to see us together, but it don't matter, no. 'Cause I got
country
you.
road, take me home to the place where I belong.
I'm your biggest fan, I'll follow you until you love me. Paparazzi. I can't live with or without you. Pictures of you, pictures of me, hung upon your wall for the world to see.
And she will be loved, yeah, she will be loved.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me.
No woman, no cry.
Yeah, Mama, this surely is a dream.
I come from a land down under, red, white, and blue. Funny things you do, America, America, this is you.
They say that Taylor was a good girl, never one to be late, complaint, express ideas in her brain.
I need some love like I've never needed love before. I'm gonna make love to your baby.
Take on me
when I come around.
Take me on
when I come around.
I'll be gone when I want to. Save tonight.
Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do.
Here I am once again. I'm torn into pieces. Can't deny it, can't pretend. Just thought you were the one in my head. I see you all over me in my head. You fulfill my fantasy in my
Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage.
God was one of us.
Tell me why'd you have to go make things so complicated? I see the way you're acting like somebody.
I know she's playing with me.
Well, that's okay, 'cause I got no self-esteem. With 1,000 eyes and a good disguise. Hit 'em right between the eyes. Hit 'em right between the eyes.
You're so beautiful. So damn beautiful.
Too late to apologize. Too late.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. That's alright, because I like the way it hurts.
It's my life, it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever.
Can't read my, no, he can't read my poker face.
Come on, Bobby, let's go party.
How long will I slide and separate my double rainbow all the way across the sky? Yeah, so intense. Enjoy yourself. Take only what you need from it. A family of trees wanted
Time to say goodbye.
Little vissuto con
Should
te.
old acquaintance be forgot
And never never brought to mind. I'm more than a boat, I'm more than a plane, I'm a bird plane. I'm a bird plane, a motherfucking bird plane. Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that hit too close to home? Doesn't that make you shiver, the way that things have gone? And doesn't that seem peculiar? Cause everyone wants a little more. It's something I do remember, to never go this far. That's all it takes to be a star.
So I don't know if you guys knew that all those songs that they were singing were all in the same like cadence or musical tune and rhythm. And I actually have heard that from one of my musician buddies. He's like, I'm learning something right now about like how there's different cadences in the music industry, and some elevate you to stardom if you get to the right, if you do I don't know, it's really interesting. Like in a way where like these pop guys, or these any artist, any musician, where they have like a certain song on an album that's like really in tune and rhythm in a certain way that just catches the world, catches the nation, right? And that's what they were singing. They were singing all those different songs. Those guys are hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, those guys are like stoned out of their mind or so.
Thanks for watching the new version.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe just maybe drunk, probably. Let's see this right here. Oh, I did have an episode about Trump and Charlie Kirk, and how it seemed like a real big stage. Sheesh, that was wild. Hey man, it's been a great episode tonight, guys. Make sure to go and check out the earlier part of the episode if you want to see what I said about 3iAtlas, it being possibly a comet, a UFO, or a government distraction and psyop. There's a lot of clips to share along. So if you guys want to create clips, I'll create clips too. I'm gonna go ahead and repost this on Spotify and repost this wherever it will be allowed. Thank you guys for being here. This is about a 2-hour broadcast, I believe. Let me go ahead and check out the exact time. Yeah, about an hour and 45 minutes. So there was a lot of content to dissect. And there's a lot of content to absorb, right? Think about it, but don't get too emotional and attached to everything that we experience in life. Just be prepared for the battle ahead with the information that we get, and use everything to our advantage. Wisdom is the way, and strength saves the day. If you guys could, this is primarily my career that I am, much focused on this podcast. And if you guys could and would donate $1, even donate $2, donate $3, I would be much appreciated. I would appreciate it. I would just love you. I will shout you out every time that you guys donate podcast in the description or info of the donation to Divine Pines, 509 Divine Pines at PayPal, Cash App, or Buy Me a Coffee. I will give you a shout out. That's word to God on the next episode. But you got to put in the notes podcast donation. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you guys enjoy this episode, donate. And if you guys want, go check out all my sponsors and affiliates down below. Peace out. We are just about, what time is it over here on the West Coast? It's 10:54, so it is late for everybody else out there. If you guys are I don't know, in the East, and this is like 2 a.m. Fuck, dude. Oh my God. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. You guys are the real ones. If anybody else is out there in the world, when they listen to this, it'll be tomorrow. So see y'all next time. Be blessed. Be high. Oh, the camera. I haven't done this in a minute. Peace.
Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught up in the loop. Got up out it cause I found the truth. Woke up to a beauty of the day, the sun is shining, so I'm finna stay. Sitting, soaking up all of the rays, till I feel it surging through my brain like some booger sugar. Did a lot of cane, experimented with it, couldn't name all the times I did it, feeling like a fade. Yeah, I'm really glad that I let it go, cause I gotta be prepped for the time when the plane ride is a new norm. So I know I'm gonna stay high, blaze on the ganja, feeling like I make my music go to another level while I take off. I can't ever stop this, fell in love with it, fit like a glove, so I'm never ever done with it. So now I'm about to rip another beat, ayy. One day I'll make a million in a week, yeah, shooting for the top spot. Feel like I'm a hot shot, like I really got a chance with it. I will not flop, somebody gonna make it dance when I pop off. Gonna have all the bitches taking all the tops off. I've been feeling like I'm really gonna kill it for the rest of my life, so I've been staying focused. In my soul, I've been feeling like $1 million, so I know that everything is really getting closer. Yeah, no posers, only been hanging with the ones I've chosen. Only all the people that are living in the right way, cause they spending every day growing. Yeah, no whole shit coming in my life and then leaving in a moment. That's the shit I'll never let into my life again, cause lately I've been feeling like I'm golden. Never showboat, I just showcase on my music that I made this far. Always knew that I could be the one that would get this far. Now I'm right here looking in my mirror, trying to figure out if there's any more fear, cause I'm getting rid of it all, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it all. Meditating, analyzing everything I see, so I see new horizons. Took the acid, feeling blasted in my brain, so I've been sitting up inside it, thinking about the present and the future. I'm improving cause I am a trooper, never getting caught.